Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dark Seer.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Juggernaut.
Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Disruptor.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve.
Weaver.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban.
And we are back here for game number 1 of our last series of the Night Pithing Legume here with Team Red and Eternity. This is basically a match to see who makes it into the playoffs, or the playoff stage of the KOD League season number 4. Both of these teams just hanging out at the back of their group, having a little bit of fun, just being the cabooses. But this time, one of them is going to have to come out on top. So right now, if we look at the standings, Red Team, they are currently at a record of 2-4. Meanwhile, Eternity are 1-3. So 1-3 Eternity, they still have another set to play after this game, and Team Red are after this one, they will be done. So there's a lot riding on this, as these teams are very close to the back of the group. Team Red could definitely secure their spot in the playoffs with 2 wins here, and that would put them ahead of Boar and tied with Midas Club. So we will just have to see how they can come out on top here, or if they do, or what Eternity is going to be able to do to be the spoilers for Red Team. Because if Eternity win both matches here, then their performance in the last match that they have doesn't matter at all. They'll be in the playoffs anyway.
Radiant team ban.
So we will just keep a close eye on how this match goes between the two teams, and in order to do that, we're going to have to start with the draft. So as soon as we see that Weaver picked up for Eternity, Team Red will go with the obvious Disruptor counter.
Seconds remaining.
Not want to
5 seconds.
hero without a counter so early, especially when the Disruptor is still in the draft at that point. Also, Team Red picking up a Juggernaut. Haven't seen a Pudge ban, which is sometimes what we're going to see when you see Jenkins on one of the teams, but Team Red haven't gone for that just yet. They do need something that's going to have to do well against the Weaver for Eternity, which at this point could be a carry, could be a support. Sharks here also picked up for Eternity, can make for some pretty big combos, especially if they go for a Sven. That's one of the combos that we've seen do pretty well for a lot of teams here in the KOD League and elsewhere. And Team Red, they're going to be picking up the Spirit Breaker here to finish off the support duo for them. Definitely create a lot of space and might put some pressure onto the Weaver. He's able to get a little bit of detection running with him as well.
Silencer.
Eternity will go with the silence here. Could be, a bit of a block for the Weaver pickup. Once they have the Weaver, they want to make sure that the silencer isn't playing against him. And we'll have to make sure that he's not taken out of the fight. Also could be fairly good against the Juggernaut if they can make sure that when he comes out of the spin, he's not going to be able to use an Omni Flash or something like that. But there aren't really any big ultimates that Silencer, or any big skills actually, that this hero is going to be able to counter per se. So we'll just have to see how the Silencer does for Eternity. If he is playing a core role, he's going to receive a lot of pressure most likely by the Spirit Breaker. But I have a feeling we're going to see him as a support. So it isn't going to be as big of a problem. And that'll leave the next pickup for Team Red. They've probably going to pick up another support or two, or rather another core. They already have their supports in Disruptor and Spirit Breaker. And they might want to start looking towards an offlaner, as a lot of those are being banned out, some of them by themselves with the Sand King, and it will just be a Nyx Assassin for them. Interesting that they decide to go with this. There isn't an OD or anything on the other side, so I guess this might again be kind of a block pick just to make sure that that hero isn't picked up. And Nyx also works very well. Say you have the Nyx Assassin giving vision, Spirit Breaker comes in with the charge, and then it's just a huge amount of damage for Team Red. So they could work with this rather well. And also Lifestealer hasn't been banned out by either team, so it's also something that Team Red might be able to get. If they run Juggernaut in the mid lane, the Nyx Assassin could be a good vehicle for the Juggernaut to get around the fights or into fights as well. It does take a little bit of time to get online though. So Eternity will think a little bit more about this one, seeing the Nyx Assassin picked up, wondering what Team Red's plan might be for this game. Interesting little picture that Team Red have. Oh, I think that's a dog. I'm not sure. It's an animal of some sort with a bow tie on. Very classy. And Eternity, they just want to go full push out again, so they are going to pick up the Jakiro to play alongside the Weaver. And we've seen in the past that Jakiro is basically trash with Shrek. Shrek doing the jobs a little bit better than Jakiro can. I'm sure, I guess he has a longer range on the stun, might be a little bit easier to hit, sometimes just because the cast time is ridiculous on Jakiro, but Jakiro does not do as well when it comes to taking down towers. And also, I feel like Shrek would probably synergize a little bit better with the Darkseer, just because of all the damage that would be done, and also the control that could come from the splitter. Sure, you can get the Ice Path and Macropyre on top of it, but I think that a Leshrac would probably be a much better play alongside the Darkseer, especially since you can push towers a little bit better with it as well. Team Red will have banned away the Viper, taking a couple of those ridiculously stupid heroes for newbie players, and also very good heroes for experienced players out of the draft.
5 seconds remaining.
Viper definitely one of the ones that newer players know quite a bit,
Reserve time.
and still is quite OP in the mid lane. And Eternity still trying to figure out what Team Red want to do with this one. They're definitely hesitating quite a bit. I guess I should take a look and see what our matches are going to be like tomorrow. So tomorrow is the last day of matches in KOD League Season number 4 Group Stage. And that makes the standings mean a little bit more. So our matches tomorrow are going to be... We've just got Eternity versus Duop. That's going to be at 6:30. Wheel versus FDL at 9 p.m. Eastern. And then 2 hours after that at 11 p.m. we've got End versus FDL. So as we check out the standings, we see that Duop and Midas Club and Mad Kings of Freedom have currently secured their spot in the playoffs. So we will have to see how those teams can fare there. We already see the brackets being set up for them as well. Back to this game, Eternity picking up the Alchemist to round out their draft. That's something that we're not going to see a whole lot, and it is kind of greedy from Eternity, but with the towers that they might be pushing early, it's definitely possible that the Alchemist goes well for them, and also can get quite a bit of gold. But Team Red, they're going to just go for a very normal counter to the Alchemist. They're going to get the Ursa, and they seem to be very happy about it as well. One of my favorite heroes, as you might be able to guess if you check out my icons. I don't know where you would be able to find those. Probably on my Twitch. And I'm very happy to see the Ursa picked up in this match. And we will just have to see how he works out for them. Again, very good against the Alchemist. Just has to make sure that he isn't caught out too much, because he can very easily be kited with this Eternity team.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So here we go into game number 1 of our 2-game set between Eternity and Team Red. It's for some reason been a little bit warmer in the town that I live in, so having a couple of fans on right now. I was a little bit surprised. I have a temper control on my window fan, and it was on pretty much all night, so it must have been pretty warm outside. Which is very strange for this time of the year. Generally, temperatures should be below freezing for quite a bit. It's really tough to live in that. But hopefully, eventually, these teams will get into the game. A little bit of shade being thrown there as we get into this one. So here we go. Team Red versus Eternity. Eternity going for a very early smoke. Mario is going to be getting over towards the mid lane, TPing for an early ward. And he'll be getting that out there. Not being scoured out right now. Another TP out by Remy, getting out very quickly. Jenkins, he's gonna get that ward down, and check this out, it gives him a ton of vision and won't really be expected by Eternity at all. Even if it were being scouted out, that doesn't really would have been scouted out in any case, even if there were heroes there. So I Annihilate just hanging out near the bounty rune over here,
30 seconds.
and got MJW just on the other side, not really aware that the Juggernaut, well, he is aware that the Juggernaut is there. He's gonna see him taunting over here, thanks to the ward that was placed down earlier, giving some nice vision of the dire side of the map. As the players just seem a little bit bored as they wait for the game to start. NRS going for the greed first. He'll be picking up the bounty rune.
The battle begins.
And we are going to be ready to start this one. Ursa showing us how nice his teeth look. On his picture there as Bloody9 gets over towards the mid lane. And he's going to miss his block. Just hesitating a little bit too much on the way over. So Jakiro already posting up here. Remy, we saw the Jakiro go for the early dual breath in the earlier match that we saw of him. He hasn't gone for anything just yet. He might just decide to go for liquid fire, but it's just going to be the dual breath, doing a little bit better DPS to Bloody9, who just moves up a little bit here. Has the overpower first, or the Fury Slaves first rather. And he's already doing some nice damage to Remy. He has no lifesteal here. He's just going to be taking the damage. And NRS, he'll punch him a little bit. But the poor man's shield making Bloody9 already, I feel, very safe. But exactly how safe should he feel? He needs to keep those Fury Swipe stacks onto Remy. He wants to keep the damage going onto him. Bloody9 might be a bit too aggressive for it, and eventually the Fury Slaves will wear off there. I Annihilate having a bit of a trouble sometime getting close to the creep wave at top. Iron Shell would be forcing him to take a bit more damage than he'd really like to, so early good start for the Darks here. They're not still trying to get into it, but it's just so difficult when you've got Iron Shell doing damage to you all the time. Remy getting back over towards bottom might decide to help his heroes out here. They're not very tanky against Team Red. But Jakiro will just come in from the backside here. He is at level 2 and he does have the liquid fire. Would just be a little bit of harass, but he actually just decides to go back, and Bloody9 finding a kill on the NRS in the mid lane. That regen that Alchemist had ended up not being enough to keep him alive. JW eventually just taking some XP from I Annihilate.
Dire's top tower is under
With a little nice deny from Wolf. Getting the farm up as a Weaver, but they have to make sure that Bloody9 doesn't get too far ahead here. NRS already taking one death, and that's going to give Ursa a big advantage in the lane. Melee against melee. Ryu is going to get hit by the Shikuchi a little bit. Silence is coming out. Nice impale from Nyx Assassin, keeping Eternity away from this one. But now they're thinking about going on the monster. Remy, he's just going to let him leave as Wolf is going to follow him up with the Shikuchi, looking for the damage that he needs. But Nyx is pretty tanky. They need a little bit more, and they're not going to be able to find the range that they need. So Spirit Breaker gets out, Monster gets out. They're over towards the shrine, popping it there, getting some health and mana back. Making it so they could just sit on the bottom lane a little bit longer. I Annihilate. He is getting quite a bit of farm now. Darkseer is a little bit further behind. Juggernaut doing okay in this lane. Not worrying about the damage that Darkseer puts out as much. There's a Kinect field in the mid lane. Remy taking a lot of damage. Bloody9 has been slowed down a little bit, but it's not going to be enough. So we'll just find the last Furious Wave for the kill. Wolf. There's the Impale. He's not got a whole lot of mana. He's not got enough for a Shikuchi. And they're going to get a bash for a kill. Ryu just getting lucky there. Eternity losing the Weaver at bottom, and that is just a huge kill for Team Red to be getting right now. Needing to make sure that the opposing team's carry doesn't even have a chance to be in this game at all. Team Red. They've got I Annihilate still farming up at top. Missed that catapult there, but he's still doing rather well at the top of CS. Alchemist is just behind them, but the Alchemist has also died once already. And he seems to have kind of evacuated the lane for now, going just for bounty runes and farm in the jungle. I Annihilate nearly at level 6. MJW will have to watch out when the Juggernaut gets up there. 29 is still hanging out at mid, doesn't want to push it too hard. Doesn't want to allow the Jakira to get the easy levels, but there's going to be a smoke right now from Ryu and Jenkins moving up here as the Disruptor Spirit Breaker combo. They'll be going over, looking in the jungle to see if anyone's around. And Alchemist gets that smoke broken. Charge in. Bloody Nine, he knew what was going on. They knew that NRS had to be going for some farm somewhere. And Bloody Nine ends up getting that last hit there for the kill. And Annihilate starting to chase down MJW in the top lane. Wants to make sure that he takes care of the creep wave. No Omni Slash for now. He'll have to clarity up for it. Ryu's going for the charge over towards bottom, just going like Thomas the Tank Engine. Impale misses on the Weaver, but they do hit Mario a little bit with it. Nice little spike carapace there, getting a little bit of a stun on the Mario, but they're actually going to be forced back here. Monster taking a lot of damage. He's going to be forced out. Shikuchi will be able to kill him. Now they want to try to go for Ryu, who is pretty tanky. No charge up just yet for him. He needs 10 more mana until he get there, and there is full vision of him. Dual Breath is going to hit. Ryu slowed down quite a lot there. So Eternity find the first kill on the map for them is NRS rather. Oh, he's gonna miss these. Well, he actually hits the slow. Blade not having longer arms than I thought he would. And he'll get away with murder near the bounty rune.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Eternity going for the shrine pop here. Wolf is just gonna sit by it, having some fun with his team. Maybe a TP out onto Ursa, trying to get back at him for taking such a big advantage of the NRS Alchemist. Already 3 deaths on him. That's really not the start you want as an Alch. Be a TP into the shrine by the Spirit Breaker, looking to get some aggression out on the map. There are a couple of heroes still at mid, and they are completely scoured out by the Dire side, with some nice observer wards placed down in the mid lane. Annihilate might get some help over at top. There's going to be a wall drop down, and here comes the charge from the backside. MJW, he will try to surge himself away. Annihilate very low on mana, so he's not going to be able to get... What was he doing? MJW underneath the tower. Sir, that's not your tower. Must have forgot which team he was on. I don't really know how that would have helped, especially if the Spirit Breaker is just charging him anyway. Very strange that surge. But Team Red are going to be able to find another kill here over Eternity, who they were chosen to be in this event. And Team Red had to be the close qualifiers, doing pretty well on those. But Eternity really haven't had the highest success in this event so far. Bloody Nine in the mid lane, almost betraying the presence of Monster a little bit, but Monster, he's been caught out. The Earthshock going to be off the mark, but the damage is completely there for Team Red as Bloody Nine finds another kill, finally being able to dominate in this match.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Jenkins is picking up the Arcane Rune. And there is a little bit of pushing going on at bottom. Some liquid fire onto the tower. At this point, it is a level 2 liquid fire. Monster is here. He was smoked up. Weaver underneath the tower. They're looking for some damage out onto him. Level 2 onto the glimpse. They're actually going to catch him here underneath the kinetic field. Can they have the damage? Ice Path is going to slow them down. Mixed Assassin taking a lot of damage from this one. Spike Carapace already used, and Monster, he will actually fall to the Weaver. Weaver being able to find the kill there, and I guess the kinetic field and glimpse was not really what Team Red wanted to be going for, but the aggression, it does work out for them as Bloody Nine manages to find the Roshan kill and the Aegis with the pickup of the Vlads. Weaver looking for more. We've got Ryu's watching the Disruptor just get killed off right now, and he doesn't even care that there was a kinetic field drop down. He knows that he can't really do anything in the lane. So Eternity are going to find a couple of kills on the map. Annihilate working towards this Helm of the Dominator. Just needs about 500 gold until he can pick up the item. So he's working pretty well on that. And the Ursa is the one at the top of the net worth for now, especially with the Aegis. Feeling pretty beefy. A beefy bear. That seems like a contradiction because beef is supposed to be cows, isn't it? And Ursa's not a cow. Baratherm is a space cow. I wonder how that beef would taste. At the farm of the alchemist, he is currently up there on the net worth, but still being beat out by members of Team Red. Jenkins putting down the sentry word. As Wolf just gets that spidey sense tingling. Zephyr would place down as well. Jenkins might be looking for a glimpse pretty soon. He should know that Remy is in the trees right now. Remy does have a TP out if he needs to. Push starts to come in bottom for Team Red. It's not going to be a huge push. They don't have anything that pushes really big. Oh, Monster. He's nearly found Wolf. They'll cancel the charge. Breaker doesn't really have the detection that he needs. That is on the Disruptor. And Wolf also has a time lapse, so they have to be very careful when they use their dust. It could easily just be time lapsed off. Monster, okay. He knows that the sentry ward was taken away. And Eternity. Have you even seen the Nyx Assassin walking around here? They will see the Spirit Breaker backing up and going towards mid. And NRS goes up anyway. He might be feeling pretty confident with the armlet. Smoke up by Ryu and Jenkins. Monster still in his ultimate. Looking for the Vendetta damage, but he's not going to find too much on the map for now. NRS getting back over towards mid. He does not have his ultimate for another 10 seconds, and Monster is going to arrive here. There's the Sentry Ward placed down, and he misses the Impale. Oh, that's Static Storm Kinetic Field all over the place. Wolf is here with the Shikuchi. Dust is going to go out, but Jenkins, he's just going to glimpse him away right now. Tries to get away from the damage. Ice Path is going to keep him there. That's a kill going the way of NRS. That is not who you want to be giving out free kills to if you're Team Red. Weaver moves back over towards bottom, but he seems pretty happy about that, honestly. Impale, but Nyx Assassin is going to get paid for it in kind. Ursa going for it. Silencer ultimate is there, but Ursa is just starting to go ham. Needs to get out of the Macropyre and Acid Spray, but he's actually going to walk back in. Ion Show also doing some damage to him. Backing him off the mark. Remy is going to be charged by Spirit Breaker, and I don't know if he cancels this. He's just seeming like a mad cow. And Remy can't get the Ice Path off in time. 49, he's ready with the blink, needs to watch out about the Ice Path. He blinks to the other side of it, manages to find the kill. Now he's got Annihilate versus MJW right in the middle of that wall. He's gonna walk through it again, slow down as MJW just tries to nip and weave around that. But Team Red, they will take the fight at mid, and they'll also take a tier 1 tower. Mario stepping up here. Annihilate's just going to spin through the wave as Ursa gets to bottom. Trying to stop Wolf, but he can't protect his own tower there. Remy trying to find some farm anywhere on the map right now. Looking for his Radiance. He's at 2,700 gold. Perhaps that's where we start to see the map turn around, but that really shouldn't happen, honestly, with the nerfs that have gone out on Radiance. There's a reason this hero isn't really picked up as much anymore, and the nerfs to Radiance definitely had a big role in that. Especially Radiance Illusions. 29 going ham on the tier 1 tower bottom. We've got some rotations to top. Nyx Assassin here to stop things here. It's going to be the Glimpse and the Static Storm right around the Alchemist, but he has gotten his ultimate off, and he's going to be healing up a huge amount due to that. +4 armor for him, so he's going to be even more difficult to take down, as Team Red do manage to defend their tower and take one of their own. Aegis is gone. 29 getting over to mid. Thinking about the Weaver, who is getting charged down. Ryu finds him. Here comes the ultimate. Weaver doesn't even get a chance to go for the time lapse. 29 popping the enrage, doing the damage that he needs to do. Monster right underneath the sentry ward will get silenced. A lot of damage done to him as well. NJW with the Ion Shell around him. Ionite just walking in. And there's going to be the glimpse back, very short. Ice Path keeps the Juggernaut in place for now. Did not find the glimpse kinetic field combo was just way too short to do anything about it.
Middle tower is under attack.
The Team Red, they are getting aggressive onto the lanes right now. Ursa at the top of the net worth. He'll be going for a Desolator, I guess. Trying to get the big damage. All charge out onto NRS. He does have the ultimate up in 3 seconds. Is he going to be able to use it? He doesn't get a chance to, and they don't even need the Spirit Breaker ultimate to do it. Killing him off with the Orb of Venom damage. That's something that an Alchemist really does not like to see. Just in a very mad bear. Alright, Wolf does again see Monster making his way towards top. Sentry Ward placed down. Wolf is going to see Monster, and Monster knows that he took some damage from Shikuchi. Annihilate just walking in though. You can see how little he cares about it. Kitty sent out. Trying to heal him up for now. Weaver, they can't really allow him to get to the healing ward, so they just leave it up and keep Annihilate in fighting shape. Ryu makes his way towards mid. Again, Team Red just taking a lot of space around the map. Trying to go for some D wards right now, our Eternity, but they're going to miss the Ice Patch, and Annihilate using the Omni Slash there, nearly killing off Remy. He needs a little bit more. Glimpse back. They should be able to find the Jakiro here. Concoction on the Jenkins. What can the Jakiro do? There's going to be a Silencer ultimate. He tries to TP away. It's not going to happen though. Didn't ever really use the spin there. And 2 heroes get taken down in the jungle. Eternity picking up a nice couple of kills. That is a huge amount of gold for them. Monster's looking for a pick off. Oh, he's right underneath the Sentry Ward again. These Sentry Wards have been on point, but this time the Silencer is going to die for it. And Monster just gets sick of these Sentry Wards being placed all over the map by Eternity. Ryu just charging down the mid lane, having a lot of fun playing Thomas the Tank Engine.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
So, 49, he's got the double damage rune up right now. And he's using it to just get through these creeps. That gives him enough gold for the Desolator, which he can buy up now, get it delivered by the courier. Will happen right now, so we'll see. As if the damage for Bloody 9 weren't enough already, he's going to get that increased even more right now. Actually deciding to go over to the top lane, so it takes some time to get delivered to him. He's going to clear out the creep wave, possibly aim to make some plays on the map when that Desolator gets over to him after he's pushed out the lane. Monster is ready with the Vendetta, but he's rather low on mana, going for the Aghanim Scepter first. Jenkins, he's been caught out. Weaver's putting in some huge damage. Should be a very easy kill there. Didn't even bother throwing out abilities or anything. He just gets the Arcane boots. Spirit Breaker already close to top, and JW shows up. That's going to be warranting a charge as he just surges away. That's going to be down now for 8 seconds with the charge. Surge up in 3. But Ursa just goes right back into the Roshan pit. 49, he's right on top of his objectives. He knows what the timings are, and he's going to find another Aegis for his team. Only 18 minutes in. Meanwhile, on the mid lane, Annihilate might be caught out. Alchemist starting to go in. Ice Path is going to be off the mark, but they're going to use the Silencer ultimate for it. Juggernaut pretty tanky, and he's just managing to walk away for now. Immediately silenced after the ultimate, and he needs to get his healing ward out. He'll just put down the kitty. Bloody 9 moving forward. There is the Spirit Breaker illusion placed down there, thanks to the wall. Time for Team Red to push in mid though. Got a creep wave coming up. Annihilate will be there. He's just raring to go onto this. He doesn't really care that he's just gonna throw out a taunt. He continues to heal up thanks to the kitty, which eventually does die. Acid spray put down. Just keeping the Alchemist away from this one. Impale's also going to be there. Monster just being a bit of a jerk to the Alchemist. 49 and the rest of Team Red, they're running in circles right now, trying to figure out if they want to push for the high ground. Be an interesting decision against Eternity, who didn't have the acid spray for a couple seconds, but it is up now. Radiance finished on the Alchemist. Still needs to get the gold, and Rio, he's sticking near the lane a little bit, but Team Red just, they managed to get away from there. Decide not to go high ground at this point. They still have the Aegis on Bloody 9. They're not really pressured into all that much right now, and Bloody 9 will push out the top lane for now. And should be able to clear it out okay. They have a smoke in from Eternity. Iron Shell out onto NRS, trying to catch out Team Red with their pants down. There's going to be a TP in. Ursa ready to break the smoke. He actually doesn't get the Blink Dagger up. He still has an Aegis, remember, deciding to go ham onto NRS, putting out a huge amount of damage. Is he going to get a little bit of help? There's the Aegis in the middle of the Macropyre. Needs to get away. MJW, he doesn't have the backing up anymore, and they're going to get stuck in the middle of the Static Storm. Alchemist trying to stay alive, but he's not going to be able to. Wolf on the high ground. Rio, he doesn't have too much that he can do. Meanwhile, MJW in the back of the fight. There's going to be the glimpse back on him. Bloody 9 trying to move forward, has the Blink Dagger up. Mario trying to get away, and the Blink Dagger is going to be way too far out. Ursa was not in range of that. Jenkins still staying alive after all of that. They need to get that bug off of him, and he's gotta be careful of that wall. Weaver will come in from the backside. Monster might know about it. Only the Spirit Breaker to fall. Oh, Weaver just going around, giving Jenkins a little bit of time to pause. We'll pop the Shrine. Actually, oh wow, Bloody 9 going right for the Jakiro. I didn't think there was anything that's going to happen there, but Bloody 9 proves me wrong. Going right for the Jakiro, making it so that he's not going to breathe fire again for just a few seconds now. But Team Red, they're going for the last tier 2 on the map. I Annihilate getting stunned out by the concoction, but alright, he is starting to take quite a bit of damage from the Acid Spray and the Arcane Curse. He'll use the Manta Style to get away. NRS still chasing him down a little bit. Wolf is there. Can he get out? He's going to turn around a little bit. That's a concoction in the face. We're not way too far forward there. Not really sure what he was thinking in Rio, but it seems like he is invincible too going in on this one. Tries to use the ultimate. Silencer ultimate is there. Ursa, he's way too far in. Team Red, they seem to be falling apart right now. They are absolutely crumbling. Monster coming around the side, but he's got no mana to do anything here. Bloody 9 caught up by an Ice Path. Team Red throwing a few kills the way of Eternity. Not really sure why the Spirit Breaker decided to charge back in there. Thought that he could get something done, but those heroes were not even close to being low enough to kill. So with that Team Red, they just try to back up and find a couple of wards around the map. Try to get their vision back up because clearly they need something to get into this game again. The net worth, it is just a little bit on the side of Team Red, and the Alchemist is going to keep getting up their XP, about 6,000 as well. Wolf getting over towards bottom. There is a Desolator and the Dragon Lance on him, working his way towards the Link in the Sphere, and then I guess the Orchid Malevolence after it. Courier hang out at mid. Team Red have to be careful with that. Don't really want to feed the Courier into enemy hands as well. Already feeding enough kills their way. Alchemist continues to get his gold. There'll be a Manta Style for him, going with the old Alchemist build. Apparently it still works. Next Assassin finally finishing the Aghanim Scepter. And we have another Roshan up in 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So Monster makes his way over to mid. There's a Sentry Ward here that could scout him out, and he goes on to the Alchemist Illusion. That's not real sun. Just baiting a little bit. Didn't look at the inventory to see if the Manta Style had been picked up already or not. Team Red do have that tier 2 tower in the top lane to take down, but even then they're going to have to try to push high ground against an Alchemist, which is not the easiest task in the world. I Annihilate will find a couple of illusions, getting burnt down by it a little, but Team Red will just continue to push in top. And Eternity will try their best to defend the tier 2 tower. Sentry ward in behind. Lots of sentry wards here that Monster's going to have to deal with. The acid spray drop down. There's going to be a vacuum on the 3. Sounds ultimate is there as well. Macropire burning down Team Red, but Annihilate uses some anti-style and will just spin the wind to try to get around the BKB pop by 29. He's going right for the bug. No chance for a time lapse or anything. It's time for NRS to come up big. Remy nearly dead. 29 actually just bursts down so much next to the Alchemist. That's so much damage. It's ridiculous. Team Red are repulsed by just how much damage this Alchemist does. So even then, Team Red, they cannot find the kill onto the tower. And the damage ends up being enough from the Alchemist and Co. Nyx Assassin looking for, I guess, some jungle creeps to hit with his abilities here. Does have an Aghanim Scepter, but that didn't really go too well for him in the last fight. We're gonna have Ryu charging down onto an illusion. And he's gonna drop his... No, he's just gonna get it out of the lane. Doesn't like illusions just staying there. Plus it is some gold for him. But why not farm it if you get the chance? And I was trying to go for the bounty rune. Gets 204 gold from it. Pretty happy about it. So this game will keep going past the 26-minute mark as Team Red, they start to lose their edge here. Alchemist starting to come online. And Team Red, they don't always have the damage that they need to deal with him. He is kind of tanky at this point, 2400 health without the armor even being popped. And with it, it's just a lot of health that Team Red have to get through. Got Ursa still farming up through the jungle. And they still might be looking for a tier 2 tower kill. Haven't really been able to utilize the Nyx as much as they might want to. MJW heading over towards top, and he has been scouted out. Monster coming around the backside. He's gonna have to get the impale, and he does, stopping him in his tracks, but there is no backup at all for the Nyx Assassin there. Alchemist illusions over to the mid lane again. Oh, Wolf might have found Annihilate. Can he find a kill though? Starting in with the Desolator, and Annihilate will just TP out. Doesn't want to waste any time there where he could get killed off by a Weaver. So Eternity right now, just trying to hold their own against Team Red. They do have the Alchemist ready to help out in some bad situations. Nearly at the Octarine core, and the net worth, it's still on Team Red, but the Alchemist just makes it sort of stagnate here. So, Eternity, and they're still, I mean, I guess at this point, Team Red are afraid of the Alchemist. Oh. 29 starts to go for Roshan again. Apparently we're kind of sitting there, but it will be another Aegis to Team Red. So maybe Ursa gets a couple of chances to swing at the Alchemist, because Eternity, they're not going anywhere close to this. They're just still playing around, trying to get some farm on the Alchemist. They're going to group for a smoke, but the answer is way too late. Mario has it on him. All for naught though. Team Red, they still have a pretty clear objective in trying to get the top tower. But they also need to defend bottom because Weavers already started up the offensive. So Juggernaut gets in here. He's got the cheese. He's got some good items. Mjolnir on himself as well. And he'll start to work on the creep wave. We were thinking about doing some damage to him, but he's just going to TP away, leaving the illusions just to clear out the creep wave. Smoking from Mario, it's going to get popped, but Jenkins goes the other way. Sentry ward placed down. It's actually very close to an observer ward placed right next to the shrine by Team Red, but not going to be in range of it. Most of Eternity force back right now. There's the boots of travel from NRS pushing out bottom again. Smoke from Team Red. They don't believe that someone could be so far up in the lane. They're just going to try to cut this off at the source. And Mario going over to break the smoke. Monster, he is still in it. Also has the Vendetta available, which he is in right now. Well, starting to move forward possibly. Team Red, they don't have the vision here. Annihilate forward. Monster thinking about going in. Can't really penetrate like this. Buddy Knife will just go forward with the Aegis. Horrify being forced out. Monster underneath the tower. He'll throw out the Impale, but it doesn't do anything. There's going to be a triple man vacuum onto a few, but the Static Storm is right onto the Darks here. All these heroes getting a lot of damage from the Macropire. They have to get away. NJW the first one to fall. He will immediately buy back. Annihilate getting low. Aegis popped on Ursa. It is time for Team Red to get back because they just cannot weather this storm. Impale nicely done on the 2. Annihilate. Oh, nice sounds for ultimate is going to keep Ursa from doing a huge amount of damage. And there is the Weaver looking at the Desolator, but the Alchemist, he's going to 1 to fall. That's a very big kill for Team Red, and they're going to force out the immediate buyback on the Alchemist. 49 vacuum back to his death. And now it is cleanup time. 2 buybacks used. Eternity trying to chase down these heroes. There's going to be the Swarm used Wolf. And they actually turn it on to him. MJW, he takes some damage. He's got no mana. Glimpse back on the Alchemist. They're going to get him out of here. Oh, nice connect. Those going to keep Remy in. And they're going to try to fight onto Wolf. Wolf, no! He gets a time lapse. And Alchemist will get back into the fight, but a nice spike carapace. A Burrowed Monster doing some work. NRS is going to be kept there for now. Monster keeps throwing out the mana burn. Oh, Annihilate nearly killed off there. That was so close. In the end, that's going to be a 2100 gold change the way of Team Red. Lots of kills there for them and 2 buybacks on Eternity. They can't really afford a fight to go like that again, but this time there will not be an Aegis on Ursa, at least for a while, so it's not really too big of a deal for them. Mario gets away from bottom. Wolf will leave as well. Good idea with the Disruptor just working there. And Team Red will just have to back up for a little bit more until they can find another Aegis. They're relying quite a bit on that as Alchemist continues to just get into this game. When he's got the ultimate going, he's pretty hard to kill. When he doesn't, he's a lot easier. And that's kind of what Team Red have to take advantage of here. Spirit Breaker trying to push out the top lane. It's just Team Red, they're pretty much at a loss to get anything done here. They can try to push with an Aegis. They're trying to force it. Might have liked to see them go for their tier 2 top and get some gold with the shrines, but I guess when you have the Aegis, that is the time to go for high ground, and their tools for it just aren't all that great at this point. We'll have the Abyssal Blade soon on Ursa. He's getting some nice farm. The push goes in top. Meanwhile, at mid, Ionite's going to get caught out. Here comes the Omni Slash out on the Weaver. He will not get... Oh, wow. Just taken over to the Jakiro, who is not as tanky as Weaver. Annihilate trying to get away. But Alpha Wolf taken off. Wolf will be charged down. And do they actually decide to complete this? No, they're just going to take the opportunity and go for the tier 2 tower. And should be able to take down the shrines with that. Alchemist, he's just getting so big right now. It's how you get farm up on him. Picking out the talents on our heroes right now as Team Red take down one of the shrines. And we might see a little bit more soon. Spirit Breaker gets down to the bottom and immediately starts to clear that out. Monster just checking out near the shrine. He wants to get the scouting done for his team. He just goes back over towards the lane. There's a sentry ward here. 49, he's been scouted out now by the observer ward, and he actually kind of has to get out of here. Jenkins taking a lot of damage already. Oh, that Jakira just flops over. He's not able to fly anymore, but look at all the damage that's going out. NRS is healing most of it away. Silence goes out onto the MJW Darkseer. He'll put down the vacuum and the wall, but he's going to get slapped down by Bloody 9. They're looking for a little bit more. Getting slowed down by the concoction. Ryu's here with the stun. He needs a little bit more. There is a charge. Can he find it? Yes, he does, as the ultimate is over for Alchemist, but Wolf is coming in the backside here. Concoction, the all be thrown. Bloody 9's taking a lot of damage. There's going to be the Enrage, keeping him up for now. He needs to... Oh no, he cannot play against these illusions at all. And Ryu, he can't find any kills. Wolf continuing to be elusive as ever with the Weaver. Again, clean up time for Eternity. There were a couple there for kills there for Team Red. They forced NRS out for a while, but now Eternity, they are just chasing him down with reckless abandon, throwing out the concoction, keeping Annihilate there. Jenkins is going to take it with him just because he wants to be friends. Wolf looking for some more. He will time lapse back. Monster available in the mid lane with the burrow, but not going to be finding any action there. Eternity taking a big fight off of Team Red. Again, stopping the push. Shrine not taken yet. Is really where that fight started off for Eternity. And we might see Team Red, they're looking for an illusion, and they drop down literally everything on it. And that's the power of the Alchemist illusions. They're just so scary that you feel like you have to take them down right away. This will mean that Team Red cannot really go for a whole lot for the next couple of seconds here. Next Stag Storm up in the 60. But Team Red do find a shrine off the map. Still just a little bit of gold going their way. Ursa desperately trying for his Abyssal Blade. Definitely help out with both the tankiness as well as controlling the team fights. Ursa really wants to farm that up, but that would be counterproductive if a gank goes his way as well. Wave 9, no vision in the jungle. It could be an initiation. Here comes Mario. Remy, Concoction Pock, but Wave 9 gets away. Alchemist's not really happy about stunning himself, but it happens. Can't always do anything about it, except not charging the stun in the first place. Annihilate still farming up right now. Taking a look at the farm, he's got the MKB, though, just to make sure that that illusion does nothing to them. Team Red always unsure about those illusions, wondering why an Alchemist would just be sitting there. Roshan, he's alive. Monster taking some damage from the Radiance. And Jenkins is there. He'll just use the Glimpse to take it away. And now that lets Eternity know that Glimpse is going to be down. Oh, Kinetic Field trying to keep a couple of heroes away. Jenkins going to be gotten. Bumped a little bit by Monster. Eternity might think about going into the Roshan pit, but Monster is just ready with the burrow. Eternity don't see him at all. Vision with the Mud Golem. Either team will know if the other one starts to go for it. Annihilate wants to go forward. Swarm thrown out, easily taken care of by Annihilate. And there's going to be one stun onto the Weaver. They're going to get the... No, they don't actually get another stun. But Ryu gets the charge out. Forced to go for a BKB. And Annihilate taking a lot of damage. There's going to be the Omni Slash though. And he's taking down MJW quite a bit. MJW possibly the first to fall, but they have to get away right now. Bloody 9 waiting on the side of this one. Just waiting for that wall to be gone. He actually just goes right back into the Roshan pit. Team Red will follow him with Alchemist Illusions there, having a little bit of a party for now. And Team Red will find the next Aegis. I believe that's the fourth one of the game. Ursa gets the cheese. I Annihilate with the Aegis. Charge out onto the Darkseer, who manages to TP away. Don't know if Ryu's going to be as lucky though. Wolf has the Orchid Malevolence, and that's a lot of damage on Spirit Breaker, but he's very tanky. And oh, that Orchid pop actually killing off the Spirit Breaker there. Very close for him, but eventually that magical burn damage was just a little bit too much for him to be able to deal with. Eternity will continue to find kills around the map.
A golden thread.
What else can Eternity find here? There just comes a point where the Alchemist starts to fall off, but with as many item slots as he has, also the fact that he can start bringing out the Aghanim Scepters for his team, like he could give a free item meter to Jenkins, or rather that's the other team. He could give a free Aghanim Scepter, free Arcane Curse to Silencer, free Time Lapse to the whole team for the Weaver, better Macro Pyres, better walls for Darkseer. Like there is such a possibility for Eternity here as this game goes on, waiting for the... Oh wow, just everything slightly off the mark on the Eye Annihilate, keeping him alive for now. There's just such a possibility of continuous scaling from Eternity that the later that Team Red take this, the longer they have a chance to come back in this game and continue to make it so that Team Red can't find anything high ground, any more buildings. Like, you need buildings in order to win, unless the other team just really wants to concede. I don't really see that happening just yet for Eternity or Team Red. Both want to just continue to farm and go at it. Maybe a rotation on the Ryu at bottom. Gonna be careful here. Shadow waiting to get away. Feeling that there might be someone breathing down his neck soon. Team Red, if we look at their vision right now, they see a little bit of the Radiant Jungle. We've got a little bit of vision there. Eternity are getting some better information at the moment. Spirit Breaker just charging onto the mid lane. Wants to clear out the creep wave as fast as possible. Team Red with the Aegis. It will get reclaimed in 2 minutes. They feel like they have to do something with it. Monster is ready with the Vendetta, but he just wants to get in position for a Burrow Strike attack. Or rather, the Burrow attack. Going over to top. Creep wave will get here eventually, but the Alchemist Illusion already doing some work, and Wolf is pushing in bottom as well. He's taking the tower. Annihilate to the high ground. He's going to spin in the middle of the ice path, forcing out the Fortify. Wow, that was a very long range stun from Alchemist. Didn't even hit the Spike Carapace. There's Weaver. He's still going to work at bottom. They're going to force out some TPs. Disruptor's going to be the one to deal with him, as I Annihilate taking the damage at mid. Nice Impale out on the tube, but Team Red again have to back away. And Weaver's going to be joining the fight now as well. Looking for a chance to kill off I Annihilate. Wolf is up here, thinking about turning around a little bit, but they don't have any vision of the Weaver coming in. So again, really neither team can get anything done. Weaver puts a huge amount of damage onto a tier 3, but can't find a Rax. If we're looking at the buybacks, we'll see that Weaver and Alchemist and Jakiro have them up for the Radiant, and only Juggernaut for the Dire. Now the Ursa gets enough gold for his as well. He's very close to it. Yeah, he's got a bit above 500 gold. They still have the Aegis, but I have a feeling that at this point Team Red aren't going to be able to use it. Juggernaut building for a Scotty. Looking for that opportunity where they're just tanky enough to be able to deal with Eternity, but I don't know if that's going to come soon enough for them. So the Aegis does get reclaimed. Weaver starting with the play onto Nyx Assassin. He'll get the Lotus Orb on himself, and the Spike Carapace makes it a lot more difficult for Wolf to go onto him. Wolf is going to see the Spirit Breaker make his way over the top as well, and that will dissuade him from going any further onto that. I know, it will push in through bottom. He's not got the rest of his team here. He just wants to make sure that this wave is pushed in, hoping that Eternity don't gank his butt. Trying to watch his vision here. It is nighttime, so he doesn't see all that much. He will spin and just get away from there, going to top. Team Red's still thinking they have the advantage, but the net worth graph, it agrees with them somewhat. It's still very difficult to push this in. No Fortify available. I know, just spinning through it. There's going to be the concoction. Oh, nearly going with the Manta dodge, but he's not going to get it off. Now he's going to be vacuumed back, and that's going to be the Silencer ultimate popped off as well. NJW left looking at what he can do here. Kingfield just forcing out Eternity for now. Playing 9 on the mid lane. NJW needs to be a little bit careful of the spike carapace, looking for the vision, but he doesn't have the vacuum. His monster, he just tries to get away, tries to TP up, but they don't have the interrupt for it. They don't have a stun. Using way too much earlier. They're also looking for Ryu. The gem still on the Weaver. Ryu, BKB tries to get away. He will also be able to make it. And Eternity cannot find the kills that they need after that pick off on Juggernaut. But they do find the Disruptor top. Wolf just goes over for it. And now Darkseer catches out Monster. They will be the charge onto him. And they're trying to get to the rest of his team, but the Abyssal Blade thing makes things so difficult for him. His path is going to be uked a little bit. Ryu tries to get Remy. He won't be able to get the ultimate off though. And Ryu finds nothing. Ryu just going to be burnt down quite a bit by the Alchemist Illusions. Juggernaut currently nearly a Scotty for him. He's got the highest net worth, but you can see that just how quickly he dies in these fights. Eternity, we'll see if they're able to find the match. They are definitely in a pretty good position. Top tier 2 tower nearly taken. They'll be sending some illusions out there to make sure that the lane is pushed. Juggernaut illusions pushing in the bottom lane. This is just a game of wave control the whole time. Neither team really wants to let the creeps get to the other's base. Or to their own base. Get to all the base. Ursa's gotta be careful here. There's a Weaver lurking around the lane, and he's gonna send in a swarm. Decide not to go in right now. He'll go for a creep cut most likely, but he's not going to find the creep wave at all. Because that does allow Team Red to keep pushing in bottom. Wolf really wants to make sure that this creep wave gets out of here, so he's going to look for the timing to get the next wave. Making sure that it gets hit by the swarm. A little bit caught out of it. Eternity, they are just, I don't know. Neither team really wants to do anything right now. Ryu charges forward, could be in some trouble, but he'll just Shadow Blade as he tries to get away. Now Wolf is going to find him, a little bit of damage there, but Ryu, he's not silenced any longer. Wolf still looking for the kill. Decides to go through with anything. Couple misses uphill. Weaver has the ability to go for a bounty rune, but decides not to. Maybe Wolf is thinking that he will bait him a little bit with it, but still. It's not gonna happen, but I'll tell you what is gonna happen. We have our 5th Roshan of the game. Team Red. Really making it so that the big guy doesn't get too much of a chance to stay alive here. Cheese on the ground. Bloody Nine still has his from earlier. Gives it over to Jenkins, and now we have Cheese on 2 heroes. Team Red, they just cannot find their initiation here. Maybe Ryu also caught out. Wolf is here. Ryu doesn't have the vision. Orchid out on the Spirit Breaker, and he starts to take quite a bit of damage. Might start thinking about the kill on the Weaver, who just again gets himself away. Way too far for Team Red to be able to initiate on. Still not a whole lot going on, even though Team Red will stay ahead on the net worth. Not really any new items being built up until Juggernaut's able to get to the Scotty, but there's only so much he can do with it. And are these Aghanim Scepters coming out? There's one on the Darks here now, one on the Weaver. So we are starting to see the Aghanim Scepters, and Alchemist might keep buying those up as long as he has buyback. So the Darks here getting some increased damage from the illusions. Weaver gets an extra time lapse for allies, which just makes the Alchemist so much more difficult to kill. As if he were even doable already. So the Scotty is now in the backpack for Juggernaut, not even going to use it for the first death if it comes here. Got the talents all over the place. Gotta push on the mid lane with the Aegis. 30% lifesteal on NRS rather, because that's just a lot more fun to play. Alchemist is a fun hero. And Team Red, it is time for them to go in on the mid lane. They are definitely used to the long matches, and they start to go to work onto the tier 3. Another fortify is going to get used. Juggernaut Illusion's going in. But I Annihilate now has to heal up once again. The creep waves aren't all that pushed in. They've mostly just focused on the mid lane. Jenkins looking for some wards around the map. Is there? Yeah, there is a gem on Nyx Assassin. And Team Red are losing their creep wave again. Can't really deal with these Alchemist Illusions. 49 push out top. They do have some positive pressure on the lanes. These lanes don't really push all that fast sometimes. But most of Team Red will meet in the mid lane. I Annihilate hasn't quite healed up all the way. They might be going for a split push right now, but it's not going to work all that well, especially when you have Midas Illusions, or the Radiance Illusions just going all around whenever they want. Juggernaut caught out. There's going to be a Macropire force step forward actually, and he will just spin and try to kill off the tower, and he nearly is able to until takes out one of those illusions. There's a vacuum. I Annihilate taking most of it, even though he does have the Aegis. Well, this went both ways. Juggernaut being kept safe for now. And JW, he's looking for a wall. They're actually going to try to turn it around onto the Alchemist. There's a stun immediately on the Darks here, and BKB will be used. Omni Slash is down for now. Now here comes the wall, an Aghanim Scepter upgraded wall. Nyx Assassin's been killed. And Ursa was not doing anything that entire time. Juggernaut Mantis off the Orchid. Wolf will get caught up in the kinetic field. Vacuum onto 3. NJW trying to do some work. 29. He starts to take a lot of damage. Blue Sword basically makes it so that Ursa can't go on the Weaver, but he does anyway. Now that Weaver gets killed off, even with the silence being there, he's going to time us in the middle of the fight. The gem is right next to him. Does he decide to go pick it up? I know that's just going to be the Aegis. 29, he's very high. We've got Disruptor, no cheese on him. I know in the middle of the river, he needs someone to come in and try to help him. It's going to be Ryu coming in with the charge. Now there's a Stack Storm. Somehow another Stack Storm in the middle of this fight. Nice vacuum onto 3. They need some vision in the middle of this. They need some damage. The Alchemist is going to just sit on his butt. Wolf looking for it, looking for Annihilate. Annihilate gets the bug off of him, and Ryu, he will just flap that dragon down. And now they'll also find the Weaver. Team Red getting the kills that they need. Buyback by the Jakira to get back into the fight, but the buybacks are down on Weaver. Alchemist still has his. He'll use it right away. Weaver is not available for another 110 seconds. Can Eternity get the defense here? Team Red, they really want to break the base right now. Great Breaker charging through the creep wave, just trying to get it down. This Assassin, he's getting back in this match, does have boots of travel. He can just very easily get to the mid lane. He's gonna get back to the later creep wave as I Annihilate, finally getting that spin to avoid the concoction. Oh, immediate stun on Darkseer. As soon as he gets into the lane, he's got the BKB up, not taking a huge amount of damage. The Stackstone is going to be there, doing a little bit of damage as he just kind of forced to sit there. Omni Slash all over the Alchemist. They don't have their Weaver back, and that's a triple kill for Annihilate. Beautiful vacuum into wall. Ryu will fall due to it, and they need to take care of these illusions. They can't keep them up. High back by Spirit Breaker. He wants to get back into the fight. Annihilate, he's found a tower at bottom. It is kind of low, but he's just going to go onto the tower. Backdoor protection was on those buildings for a second. Ice Path slowing this down a little bit more. Disruptor's just so very low, but he's being healed up thanks to the healing ward. Second set of racks going the way of Team Red. They want a little bit more. They're actually just going to go for the tier 4s. They know that the Weaver is dead. They know that the Alchemist is dead. They have no buyback. Team Red smelling victory in the cards for themselves here. And they'll take down one tier 4. They'll take down the other. They are trying to heal up desperately, but it's just not going to be enough as Team Red will be able to find the GG in game number 1 of this 2-game set. And what a match. 56 minutes. Team Red just took so long. The Alchemist stalling things out. Another Darkseer playing well, making so